How's it going? I'm Jared Gillis. Welcome to another All About RVs. Today, I want to share with you a little bit of a problem that we've been having with our slide and that we wanted to fix so that we didn't cause any more damage to the slide and have it operating the best that it possibly can. But I'll be upfront with you. It ended up being a bit of a fail, but it still works out that we can learn something from that and make the RV better in the process. I would definitely say that it gave me the information to know exactly how I want to fix it and how I'm going to fix it. So let's rewind this and get back to the beginning and look at the problem with the slide. So let me try and explain the problem we're having and how we're going to try and fix it. So this was originally a Schwintek slide system on there. We replaced it with the Vroom system, and the Vroom has been working fantastic. We had all kinds of problems with the Schwintek system, and when we pulled that off, this has been much more reliable. But when we swapped it out for the Vroom system, he said you're probably going to want to put some metal strips underneath here to be able to protect the wood from getting chewed up by these rollers. The way that these slides work is we have rollers underneath there that this rolls in and out of as the slide mechanism works. So those rollers are kind of putting a point pressure where they roll in and out, and on this OSB type of material, it kind of breaks it down over time. So we have OSB down underneath here and it has a coating on it, but that coating is really just more of a sealant, like a weatherproofing sealant on there. And so it's just that OSB that's on there. So what we want to do is we want to put metal underneath there so that it's rolling on the metal and it's not going to break the metal apart when it has a solid backing compared to this OSB. So if you look underneath here, you can see where each of those rollers is starting to wear on this heavier slide. We don't have that on our small bedroom slide, but we do on this larger, heavier slide. And then we had one section where it was starting to chip away some of those wood chips from underneath this OSB plywood. So what would happen when the slide was going in and out and it would hit one of these spots that it's starting to break it down, it would start to pop, and it's just going to continue doing more damage unless we fix it. We actually did add a fifth roller underneath here when we had the Schwintek on here before we switched to Vroom. We were having issues with it, and it was one of the things that we did to help it go in and out. So we were able to add an additional roller right there in the middle. So we do have 5 rollers on here. So we're going to put 5 strips of metal on the bottom portion of this to give it something more solid to roll on and not break it apart. So let's get one of those mounted on here, see how it works, and I'll walk you through what I did to make them and what I would probably change if I was to do it again. One thing I did do in preparation is I patched the areas that were starting to chip away, and then I painted them to seal them up before we put the metal on here. But I'm just gonna jack this up so that I can slip the metal in between the OSB and that roller here. You don't have to jack it up much, just enough to get it in. Okay, that's one down. I'm gonna actually test the slide because this was our problem area now before I do the rest of them. Okay, so that pretty much in a nutshell was a failure. This isn't going to work with this material, so we're not going to do it to the rest of them today. The theory and the practice of what we're going to be doing, I think, is going to be great, and there's a lot of things that we can learn from it, but this metal is too thin, and that's what I was worried about when we first did it, and that's why I was thinking about changes I already wanted to make from this. It needs thicker metal. You can see as a slide went in and out, it started buckling this metal a little bit, exactly what we don't want to have happen, and it dented it in just a little bit. So it's not going to last, it's not going to have any longevity. I'm going to leave it on here because it was already chipping apart the wood underneath there, and I don't want any more damage to the wood. So I am going to leave this one on for now, and like I said, it is so thin that it's not going to matter that it's on this one and not the others. The good news is this will buy me a little bit of time until I can get the material that I do want. I went all over the different stores and commercial applications that I could in the town that we are in. I ended up last ditch effort, went into a Tractor Supply store. They had a material that was thick enough. I'm aiming for probably at least 14 gauge to be able to put on the bottom of here. They had something thick enough, but it wasn't big enough, long enough, and there definitely wasn't enough to do all 5 of these. So I'm gonna find the right material and get all of these done. The one thing that that I did like is the template that I did on here is going to work good. I like that I went 8 inches wide. It's going to cover that roller area and much farther beyond it. And I also did countersinking on the metal here. Not that the metal was very thick, but I did want these screws to be flush. So there was just nothing to be able to catch on that weather stripping, nothing to be able to catch or inhibit the slide going in and out. I don't want to create something that's going to cause another problem somewhere else. So these didn't work out, but they were good practice getting ready to make the ones that I do want to make. So in a nutshell, sometimes you learn things from your failures just as much as you do from your successes. So this is a failure that I'm definitely going to learn from and make the next one even better and stronger. And I think the slide is going to be better for it in the end. So I hope some of this information might help you out, maybe an issue that you're having with your slide and helping to problem solve what you might need to do on yours. So I think that's going to do it for today. I hope you guys liked this video, even though it was a failure. So if you did, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos about RVing, hit that subscribe button. And if we don't see you on the road, hopefully we will. See you next video.